I've been asked to share my views on world development and global peace, more so in a region like Southeast Asia of 10 countries, various cultures and civilization. I'm attracted to what Dr. Jaifuddin said just now. Civilizations should not clash, but complement each other. In Dr. Jaifuddin's opening speech today, and that will be covered also in my speech later. My capacity today as a former chief minister, I have some basic understanding of 儒家思想, Confucianism. As the minister said just now, we have more than 30 ethnic groups and cultures and hundreds of sub-ethnic groups, but we live in a harmonious society. First of all, I'd like to congratulate UMS and the University of Minzu and the China Consulate General for organizing this dialogue, which is very relevant and timely for the peoples of both Malaysia and China. Because this seminar can strengthen the people-to-people relations between Malaysia and China during these times of global uncertainties and global social and technological changes. I thank the organizers for inviting me to share my insight on strengthening inter-civilizational dialogue and enhancing China and Malaysia cooperation. I'm here to share my thoughts on our mutual learning for world peace and development, starting with us in Malaysia and China. Now, the fast pace of the advancement of information technology is bringing about unprecedented challenges to our cultural values. The mass movement of people in the first 8 months, 500,000 from China of this year, the mass movement of people across the world brought about by affordable air travel. It's cheap, it's fast, and it's safe compared to before. This mass movement of people is bringing more ordinary people closer together. More ordinary people are interacting physically with each other, more than ever in the history of mankind. Therefore, these twin challenges, I call these twin challenges of mass communication, internet, social media, and mass travel, can bring about undesired challenges to our traditional values and way of life. The peaceful rise of Asia, led by China in the new global village, proved that we can be both harmonious, at the same time powerful, without being unfriendly, as an unfriendly competitor to our neighbors or indeed the whole world. Mutually beneficial initiatives like the Belt Road Initiative are proven examples of how we can all progress under the concept of smart partnership of a win-win for all. Confucian and Islamic civilizational values can show to the rest of the world. China, Malaysia, ASEAN, we can show to the rest of the world that world peace and harmony can be attained without being unfriendly to anyone. The march towards world peace and harmony need not be a zero-sum game. What is a zero-sum game? I win, you lose. You win, I lose. In the end, zero-sum. So world peace and the rise of civilization need not be a zero-sum game. This concept of smart partnership, 双赢, win-win, stand in contrast with the concept of the clash of civilization. This concept of the clash of civilization has affected the mindset of small but influential group of Western academics. If I may say so, the concept of the clash of civilization wrongly presupposes a zero-sum game, whereby the rise of one civilization is necessarily accompanied by the fall of another civilization. The rise of this civilization, therefore another civilization must fall. This is what one now very powerful theory in the Western world is talking about. But we in Asia, it's proven in Confucianism and Islamic civilization, one civilization rise, another civilization can rise along. What Dr. Zaifuddin talked about, complement each other. In terms of Islam said, transfer of knowledge, acquisition of knowledge, science, technology, economic progress, social stability. So the class of civilization, you see, 白色的色友好，黑色的色有冲突yang putih itu bermakna mesra, yang hitam itu bermakna ada kado, ada percanggahan. So Islam and Confucianism, China, Malaysia, China is considered mesra. The West and China, the West and Islam, Africa and Islam, these are all very the black bug. It's not from me, it's from the theory of the class of civilization. Okay? So Latin America and the West will be mesra, whereas the West and China, the West and Islam, and Africa and Islam, they are you clash. So this partly explains some of the problems we face in the world now on the geopolitics and geoeconomics. This is a very simplified version. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may move on, moving forward, I hope the strengthening of Malaysia-China relations, including the level of people to people, can help to strengthen peace and harmony, especially in our immediate region of ASEAN and China. Now, I was at the alumni London School of Economics University Alumni Forum, the Asia Forum in Beijing many years ago. This Professor Wang from Beijing, but he is also my alumni from LSE London. He said, what is Asia? He said, Asia is China and China neighbors. And Southeast Asia is very important to China. Therefore, I say Sabah is very important to China. Why? What is Southeast Asia? Southeast Asia is Sabah and our neighbors. The same concept. So this is important in how we look at Sabah, Malaysia, ASEAN, in the way forward with the rest of the world, principally China. Now, one of the most key steps necessary for the mutual understanding of these two great civilizations, Confucianism and Islamic civilization, is to have more intellectual discussion among the academics of these two countries. For instance, my reading of the Universal Islamic Declaration of Human Rights. You see this one, When I was at London U, I bought this book, 1982, no? Ada yang belum lahir ni. I was reading the Islamic Declaration of Human Rights, 1982, published in London, in comparison to the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. And I found out that the basic human rights is almost the same. The principle of human rights between Islamic and the rest of the world is almost the same. I'm going back to my university days about what I read in 1982. This taught me the many similarities and convergence of principles between the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the Islamic Declaration of Human Rights. And these two sets of human rights, United Nations and Islamic human rights, are the same human rights that are practiced among the people in Confucian civilization. If I may venture further, I'm about to complete. Today's dialogue also helps to strengthen people's positive understanding of Islamic civilization. Because as clearly explained by one of our former Prime Minister, Dr. Mahathir, in his speech at Oxford Center for Islamic Studies, UK in 1996. Islam, the misunderstood religion, published by the Afro-Arab Center, Malaysia. And Dr. Mahathir said, there have been some widespread misunderstanding of the religion of Islam and its civilization. In his book, he said misunderstanding of Islam, not just among non-Muslims, even some Muslims. So this kind of talk will help us to have a positive understanding of Islam. Now, that speech in English in Oxford was very well received in Malaysia and many other countries about the religion of Islam, and of course, it has a direct bearing on Islamic civilization. Now, before I conclude, may I share my personal experience. In the year 2004, I attended Confucian Summit Forum 2004, held at the birthplace of Confucius at Shantung, Yihu, on 26 and 27 September 2004. I was there. It's not the same, It's not the same when you read and you listen, but when you go there, and that's where Confucius was born. It's different. Having come back, you realize that this set of values, the way of life, 那个价值观、儒家思想不是那么简单的，可以到了2500多年，还是现在全世界还是有存在。And I believe next is to suggest that we Malaysians visit the birthplace of Confucius in order to feel and to understand the meaning of Confucian civilizational values and how we can contribute to regional harmony. Perhaps a visit can be made to the Chifu Normal University, formerly known as Teachers University. This was a university that hosted the talk. With the eventual objective, tuan-tuan yang daripada UMS, mudah-mudahan the eventual objective is to set up a UMS chair on Confucian teaching in Sabah. With those words of hope, I thank you for your kind attention. Sekian, terima kasih.